Next question 136. What is true about nereus, scorpion, cockroach and silverfish? If you look at the 4 statements, out of these 4 options that you could see, they all possess dorsal heart. When you see the heart like ventral heart or dorsal heart, and 2 types of heart that you could see in the different species of animals in animal kingdom. But in case of nereus, scorpion and cockroach and silverfish, you could see they all possess dorsal heart over here. So, option 1 is the correct answer for question 136, because the nereus belongs to the phylum Annelida and the scorpion, cockroach and silverfish belong to the phylum Arthropoda. They all possess dorsal heart. This is a connective link where you could see Annelida and Arthropoda. So, option 1 is the correct answer. Question 137. In most simple type of canal system, that poriferans which have following ways, we call it as like as we discussed in the starfish, we discuss like water canal system. But in this case like 137, where you could see in case of poriferans, this we already discussed. I hope you recollect, where you could see the ostium formation. So, where you could see the ostium formation, you could see the structures in case of you could see the structures in case of the small openings that you could see in between, the small openings that you could see. So, when you look at the structure of this the poriferans, where you could see the ostia, then it comes to spongocells. When you could see the where you could see the innermost part, where you could see small opening, where we call it as ostia. Then we have the spongocele over here, the spongocele, then comes the spongocele. Then after the spongocele, here you could see osculum, and from the osculum this goes to the exterior part. So, ostia, spongocele, osculum and the exterior part. This is in case of poriferans, that in case of sponges. In the case of sponges, Euspongia, sponges, that you could see this type of feature. So, question number 137, 1 is the correct answer, where the central body cavity of sponges is called spongocele. So, where you could see the central cavity itself we call, this is actually we call it as a spongocele, right. So, this is spongocele, where the body is porous in nature. The sponge is usually is porous in nature. The inhalent pores are called ostia, we call it as ostia, and exhalent pores are known as oscula. So, we call it as ostia and oscula. We use these two terms. The body of the sponge is organized in such a manner. How it is organized? This to form a complex system of the pores and canals. This canals we call it as a canal system. This forms a system. This we call it as a canal system. Okay. So, canal system, and this is through the canal system very important for the life of the sponge. It brings for food and oxygen, carries away the carbon dioxide, and you could see the nitrogenous waste and reproductive bodies actually. So, thus the canal system helps in sponges in the nutrition, in the respiration, excretion, as well as you take in the reproductive functions. So, option 1 is the correct answer for 137. Next, move on to 138. Coming to 138, match the column 1 with column 2 and select the correct options from the codes given below. A with 3, Hirudin with termites, canal system term with sponges, nematocyst with hydra, and feather star with the echinodermata, and insects with the leech. So, option 3 is the correct answer. 139, where match the zoological names given under column 1 with the common names given under the column 2 and select the correct options for the codes given below. Labiorogita, Gallus, Bos indicus and Anthrea myelita. If you look at this, A with 2, B with 1, C with 4 and D with 3. So, correct option is 3 for 139. 140, examine the figures given below and identify the options which represents correct groups of label figures A, B, C and D. A, you could see phyla, that is apple snail, B is tongueworm, that is Balanoglossus, and C is Pristis, and D is Ornithorhynchus. So, option 2 is the correct answer for 140. 141, which of the following are not the characteristics of the class Osteichthysids? As far as Osteichthysids, the 3 and 4, skin covered with xyloid and placoid scales, the scales are not present in case of Osteichthysids, but Condicthysids you could see the bony fishes that you could see, but cartilaginous fishes you could not see the scales here. And the fourth one is many of them are viviparous, so it is not viviparous. So, option 3 and 4 are ruled out. For question 141, option 2 is the correct answer. Question 142, One of these is not the feature of non-chordates. Non-chordates is usually like an absence of notochord, absence of post-anal tail, ventrally located central nervous system, all are correct, but which is not the feature, it's ventrally located because it is dorsally located heart. So option 4 has been ruled out. So correct option is 4. Question 143. 143. Which of the one phylum kingdom is the kingdom Animalia without any nerve cells? Where you could see in the poriferans. The poriferans have no nerve cells, there are no definite nerve cells, no nervous system that you could see in definite manner. So question 142 is also the same answer. Poriferan. 144. Larvae of jellyfish Aurelia is planula. So we give the different names. For example, mosquitoes larvae we usually call it as wrigglers, caterpillars, the different names that we give for a larvae. Where in case in 144, the jellyfish, the larvae is actually we call it as planula. Planula is the correct answer. Question 145. Which of the following is pseudocoelomate? Pseudocoelomate, where nematoda. So nematoda is the correct answer for question 145. 146. Book lungs on the respiratory organ you could see in case of arachnida. 146, usually in case of spider, scorpion. In this cases you could see something called as book lungs, like so special structure that you could see the book lungs. It will be like line kind of as you could the flip of pages that you could see in case of the books. The same way the book lungs usually you could see in case of scorpion and spider. Where this is the feature where you could see in case of arachnida, where you could see this type of book lungs you could see. 147. Proboscis gland in balanoglossus is usually for excretion. So 147, excretion, because excretory organ in balanoglossus is proboscis, because lying in front of the central sinus and projecting into the proboscis coelom, it excretes brown and yellow granules that you could see. So proboscis is the correct answer, that is for excretion. 148. Which one of the following animals is a fish? Where starfish, silverfish is an insect, jellyfish is not a fish of course, where shark is a fish. So 148, 1 is the correct answer. Question 149. 149. Common character of all vertebrates without exception is but it's the presence of the skull, So 149, because in all the vertebrates a skull develops to provide the cranium to protect the brain. So option 4 is the correct answer. 150. Study carefully the given flow chart and fill in blanks A, B, C, D and E. So cellular level, then the radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry, pseudocoelomates and coelomate. This is how the order, when you just start right from the lower part to the higher level, the complexity will start increasing. So right from the cellular to the radial symmetry, then the bilateral symmetry, then the pseudocoelom, then to go with the true coelom. So as you could see, once we going from one level to the other level, of one phylum to the other level phylum, there are 11 phylums that we discussed in the kingdom Animalia, where you could see we go from the poriferans until you go with the last phylum, that the class Mammalia. You could see the complexity of the organism will start increasing right from the cellular level to the organ system level of organization. So option 4 is the correct answer for question 150. Next we go to the 151. Which of the following is not correct match of animal and its habitat for question 151? Here you could see Hydra vulgaris which cannot be seen in a sea water. Other 3 are correct. So option 1 is the correct answer for 151. 152. Match the correct columns 1 and 2 and select the correct options from the codes given below. A with 2, B with 1, C with 4, D with 5, E with 3. So option 4 is the correct answer. We could see book lungs, that already told you, like book lungs you could see in the earlier in the scorpion and spiders you could see already, this we see one options you can correct or 2 options you can correctly, and the remaining options all automatically it will falls in your bucket. So you can answer this type of questions, but provided you should be very careful with at least 2 options you should answer correctly. You must know confirmly, so only then you can answer the remaining questions. So this is for question number 152, the book lungs. Question 153. Identify the figures A, B, C and D given below and select the correct option. A with locust, that is a grasshopper, scorpion, that is 2, C with prawn and D with the apple snail, that is pila. So option 153, 1 is the correct answer. 153, we're just looking at the image, you can answer this type of question. So 154, and locusts are the which makes like good sounds, sound producing insects, locust. 154, which one of the following is incorrectly matched? Garden lizards, Hemidactylus flaviviridis, this is the incorrect match for question number 155. Because you could see in this case like 155, sorry, that is in 154, Calotes versicolor is the scientific name. So Calotes versicolor, Calotes versicolor. Calotes versicolor, this is question number 154. This is the scientific name that we give for the garden lizard. So we are ruling out this part. So first, so the correct answer is 2 is incorrect. 155, select the correct options that represents examples of the following types of animals. Cold-blooded animals, they could see in this case where 155, where you see the first option, frog, pigeon, wall lizard, earthworm. Where you see the frog, the amphibian is a cold-blooded animals, its body temperature varies with the temperature of the environment. Pigeon, you take aves, is a warm-blooded animals, the body temperature remains constant irrespective of the temperature what is like environment it's having. And you take the wall lizards, reptiles possess dry and confined conified skin. Earthworm, you take an annelids, is a monoecious animal, that is both male and female and 6 organs present in the same individual. So this is actually like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is for cold, 2 for warm, 3 for animal possessing dry or conified skin, and 4 is for dioecious animal, that is you could see in a earthworm where hermaphrodite conditions. So guys, so option you go with the 1. Next come to the 156. Select the correct options that represents examples of the following type of animals. You could see in this case where Ascaris lumbricoids, then that is a roundworm that you know, Ascaris lumbricoids for question number 156. And you know the difference between the male and the female earthworm, that is like roundworm. Male will be having recurved tail, that is the main difference that you could see the male. And as far as the female is concerned, the female is with the straight one, the straight thing that you could see. So that is the main difference, and based on the papillae. So this is for the recurved tail, the male, and this one is the female. And based on the papillae and the genital openings also, we can make out the difference between the male and the female Ascaris, that is roundworm, that is Ascaris lumbricoids. Ascaris lumbricoids. Okay, so we done with question number 156. And stingray is the poison. Okay, and limbless amphibians, we discussed like ichthyophyes, limbless amphibian, and an oviparous mammal is a duck-billed platypus. Option 4 is the correct answer. 157, chordates differ from the non-chordates in having all of this: notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits. Option 4 is the correct answer. 158, which of the following living organisms completely lacks cell wall? Sea fan, that is Gorgonia. So this Gorgonia is an animal belonging to the phylum Coelenterata. All animals lacks the cell wall here. 159, cell fertilization is seen in fasciola. Fasciola is the correct answer for question number 159. So let me write over here because I have space here. So 159, fasciola. So you could see in the fasciola hepatica, that is a liver fluke, and fasciola busci you can take. These all cases where the cell fertilization is the rule. Cell fertilization. Okay, so we're done with this question. 160, dash is the largest class of phylum Arthropoda, Hexaphoda. Arthropoda is the largest phylum. In the Arthropoda, which class which is the largest is Hexaphoda? Question number 160. Hexaphoda is the largest. Hexaphoda is the largest class. Largest class in Arthropoda. Arthropoda is the first largest phylum. Second one, right? First is the largest is the Arthropoda. Right? In the Arthropoda, you could see the Hexaphoda. So next we go of the, so 161, which of the following matching pairs is wrong? Mollusca doesn't have the pseudocoel. So option 1 is the correct answer, because mollusca are coelomates which possess true coelom, and in mollusk coelom his body cavity develops a split in the mesoderm sheet and it is filled with the coelomic fluid. So 161, 1 is the correct answer. 162, ornithology is the study of birds, and malacology is a study of the snails, that is mollusk malacology. Okay, so birds is the correct answer. 163. In which of the following set of organisms does the external fertilization occurs? That is amphibian and algae, where it occurs outside the body of the organisms. That this type of the gametic fusion is external, so we call it as external fertilization or external syngamy. The fusion of the nucleus takes place. The external medium where it acts like the water is the factor where it requires for this type of fertilization. Thus, in most aquatic organisms where the majority of algal species, fishes, amphibians, external fertilization occurs where water is playing very important role. We are done with 163. Option 3 is the correct answer. 164. Pick of the mammals with true placenta. Mongoose. Mongoose is a member of Carnivora, an order of placental mammals that includes familiar groups such as birds, foxes, cats, hyenas and skunks. So, correct option is 4. 164. Question number 165. Coming to the 165, which of the following is correct? Where you see all of these where diploblastic, triploblastic, acoelomatic, coelomate, all the correct options has been given. So, all of these, option 2 is the correct answer. 166. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Where you see 1 and 2. Parapodia is the lateral appendages, it's the arthropods used for swimming. So, no, parapodia is the fleshy appendages. And 2 is the radula in mollusca structures. No, radula is for what? Radula I told you already is for the teeth, the mouth arrangement. So, radula is for the mouth. So, question number 166, radula. Radula, that is case of mollusca, it's for the mouth, where it has got the specific teeth structure. This is for your mouth part, not for the excretion. So, 166, 1 is the correct answer. 167, where you see the radial bilateral, the first one where you could see the hydra, where you see the radial, and the bilateral where you could see the crabs, that is cancer. 3 is the correct answer. 168, match the locomotory organs given under column with phylum which they are seen listed under column 2 and select the correct options from the codes given below. A with 4, that is pseudopodia with annelids, parapodia with the protozoa, muscular 4 with the condictycids, then fins are with mollusca. So, option you see like option 4 is the correct answer for question number 168. So, option 4 is the correct answer. 169, which of the following pairs of animals is similar to each other for the features stated against them? Out of these 4 options, when you see 169, seahorse and flying fish are cold blooded, we usually call it as poikilodermic, it's cold loving animals. So, option 4 is the correct answer. Seahorse like hippocampus. 170, where you see like brood's pouch where you have the pregnant males is also a characteristic feature of hippocampus, that is the seahorse that also we discussed. Question number 170. 170, where you see go through the following flow chart for division of phylum vertebrata, fill the gaps A, B, C and D and select the correct option, where you could see 1 is the correct answer. So, Ostrocoimi, Silocostoma, Pisces and Tetrapoda. Question number 171, where you could see the characteristics given below are associated with 3-chambered heart, that is 2 auricles and 1 ventricles, crawling creeping habit, no external ear, body is covered by dry and conified skin, epidermal scales are skewed, where you could see this case in case of reptiles. Might have been not confused with amphibians, it's not the feature of amphibians, it's the reptiles. Option 1 is the correct answer. 172, the space between body walls and alimentary canal lined by the mesoderm is called coelom. This we call it a coelom, schizocoelomates like eucoelomates that we categorized in higher organisms, where 172, where the correct option is 3. Where you could see that 172 is a 3, the coelom. 173, digestion in hydra takes place within, where the digestion takes place in the gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity, where in hydra, where the cell to cell diffusion and the gastrovascular cavity serves for both digestion as well as for circulation in case of 173. So, 173, gastrovascular cavity, This gastrovascular cavity is one of the characteristic feature that you could see in case of hydra. So, where you could see in case of hydra, this is the characteristic features where you could see the tentacles over here, and here this is a mouth part, and here also you could see the tentacles which starts from here. So, this you could see the ovary over here, and here you could see the testis. But hydra you could see hypostome, this is actually the mouth part and the tentacles, and this is the bud formation takes place, and this one is the ovary and the testis that you could see. So, in this case you could see gastrovascular cavity which plays both for the circulation. So both for circulation, and also this plays a very important role in excretion. Question number 174, which of the following pseudocoelomate? Roundworm is a pseudocoelomate. 175, which of the following groups of insects prefer breed clean water and the larvae lie parallel to the surface of water? Anopheles mosquito. Okay. So question 175, 1 is the correct answer. Question 176, which of the following does not have the excretory system? Where you could see Astreus. Astreus which doesn't have, where the starfish belong to the phylum Echinodermata, which is an excretory system, is absent. Due to that, only in starfishes you could see we have the water canal system. So 176 you could see in case of the starfishes, where you could see the water canal system. So water canal we discussed already in a live video part. This starfishes Echinodermata usually consists of water canal system, so no excretory system here. So question 176 we are done. 177, where you see which cells of animals include all the ectoparasites of some fishes, cyclostomata. So 177, 4 is the correct answer. 138, the sound producing organ of bird is called, usually called syrinx. Syrinx is the sound producing organ, that is usually we call it as vocal cords of the birds, we call it as a syrinx. 178. Then come to 179. The figures given below show the types of coelom. Identify them, select the correct group of organisms which possess them. The first one you see in case of like annelids. Annelids, where you could see A is a coelomate, where you could see B is a pseudocoelomate. B is a pseudocoelomate in case of Acy-helminth, and C you could see in case of Platyhelminth, that is like Acoelomate. There is no proper coelom over here. So the first one is you could see annelids is for coelomate, and B is for pseudocoelomate, C is for coelomates, that is acoelomate. So annelids, Acy-helminths and Platyhelminths are the example for this one. So we go with the last question, that is 180. Which of the following groups of these animals, 3 animals, is correctly matched with their one characteristic morphological feature? You could see the animals and the morphological feature, the scorpion, spiders and cockroach. The morphological features, you could see the ventral solid, that is central nervous system. So this you go with the question number 180, where the scorpions, the spiders or cockroach are the invertebrates, right, and belong to the phylum Arthropoda. There's no doubt in that. Therefore, they have a ventral solid central nervous system. In cockroach and the locust, you could see where the body is without the true segment, that is externally. In Taenia, see the body is without the true segments. Liver fluke has a bilateral symmetry, C. anemone has a radial symmetry, and C. cucumber has a bilateral symmetry in the larval form as well as in the radial symmetry in adult form. Then you take centipede and prawn have joint appendages, while sea urchins we could see does not have the jointed appendages. So this we could see the the explanatory part, where you could see the last question, that is 182. Having this, we have to go for justifications. We freeze with the first option. That first option, the scorpion, cockroach, that spider with the ventral solid central nervous system. So the first option is the correct answer for the question number 180. So by this we come to end of this particular chapter, that is Animal Kingdom. But still, if you have any doubts or any queries, anything that you want to discuss related to this particular chapter, that is with Animal Kingdom, maybe if you would have missed any parts in the live session or with this explanatory part, don't hesitate yourself and don't be reluctant in asking your doubts. So please post your comments and ask your doubts. So we are happy to help you out, and we try to clarify your doubts as early as possible. So thank you. I really appreciate your time and patience. Thank you so much.